Hi everyone, my name is Elisha Kababu. This is of course CITAM Church Online, and we have been here. This is our fourth week in the amazing Waithera Gaitho. We've been having conversations around very critical things that touch the young people, and we started on paths and identity. And out of these conversations, so many questions are coming in, and the major one that the young people are asking was, how do I become Mata Ghost? Karibu sana. Help us just to demystify all this.
Thank you very much for having me yet again. I'm getting very honored by this time, to discuss something very, very, very dear to our nation, dear to God, and I must admit also dear to myself, and I'm sure also to you too as a youth pastor. Yes, so it's good to know that the young people are asking the how, how do I discover my purpose? Is this something I discover in a day? Is this something I discover, on my own? How do I go about this? But I was just wondering, as we were discussing before, as a youth pastor, what are some of the questions that young people come in and ask you about? And also, what are some of the prayer requests, and what are some of the counseling, when you're counseling them, what are some of the issues? What are the things that you see are common? I'm just curious.
I think that's a very profound issue, because many of these young people have questions, and some of them are even questioning the Bible. What's the legitimacy of the scriptures? What makes the Bible obey? And that plays a big role as far as identity is concerned. Many of them want proof. No, it's a generation that doesn't just want to be told Jesus is a healer. Yes, they want more than that. They want to go into the details. How does Jesus clear? How does faith sound? Is this Jesus real in the first place? Was there a figure in history called Jesus? So they're asking all these questions. And if you don't have the answers, situations they do not consider you authentic. We also consider Christianity something religious, just a pure religious opposed to a relationship with actually elite and family. So now when I'm confronted with these questions, of course, because of the recurrence of it, then I have definitely have to equip myself to respond to that. Yeah. These are some of the questions I get with to the young people.
Okay. Any issues with regard to socioeconomics, or issues with their parents, issues with peer pressure, grads. Are there many?
Definitely, the young people come to you and they're struggling, and of course, if somebody's coming to you and they're willing to open up with the struggles that they are going through, then it shows you that this is somebody that has looked at your life, that they have seen there is some sort of direction, is some sort of identity, and it's always a joy to respond to them, not judging them. Some of them have issues to do with probably lesbian tendencies. Some of them have issues to do with naturalists. Some of them, possibly grew up dysfunction. So, anyway, that is a PhD and all of this guy. Yeah, so, these are the conversations. This is the reality craft. Yeah.
So, why are
socioeconomics,
jobs and etc. kind?
Some of them are very, I'm done with education. I'm done with my high school. I'm going to go to campus. Mommy is saying I should do law, but I know I don't want to be law. I want to be fashion. And really, this is what's happening. So now, how do we address when because I feel like that falls not just in identity, but also because, again, if somebody tells you they want to be fashion, they could actually be tied to their identity because they are passionate about that. Because I believe fashion, I believe that identity comes with something that you're passionate. So it tells me to do law, but I don't want to be I don't have any passion. It's almost like it's like a badge of honor to the parents that my daughter is a lawyer, she's an advocate, but she just wants to be a fashion designer. A practical example is actually my elder sister. Her dad paid for her mass com to pursue mass com in USIE. She dropped off. She went and studied at Top Chefs, because she's passionate about space. Right now, she works in the US. Having a good job as a physician. Assuming she had
paid for what she loves, to do what she loves.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can also talk about
on the say. Yeah, I think that I also have grown up with a father who was very supportive in terms of doing what you desired to do. Yeah, and my father and you studied art in university, but he's gifted in writing.
Wow.
And it's writing that has raised his family and that has made him become, an authority in that space. In other words, it may not be an engineer, it may not be a lawyer.
Yes.
But imagine if there were no hairdressers. We'd all be walking around looking mad.
Exactly.
Imagine if there was no one cutting cloth and giving us this. Then would we be walking naked? God has ensured that the ecosystem has got each and every person that each requires. And I like to liken it to the body, the human body. It's no wonder that Jesus said that the church is his body and is the health. The kidney is as important as the liver and is as important as the nose. Without the nose, you might be eating something that will destroy the liver.
Wow.
The taste buds, yes, the taste bud is as important as the heart. Because if it does not taste that something is not good, and it goes into the system, it can stop the heart.
That's right, yeah. That's right.
In other words, there are those things we don't consider. We don't even pay much attention to. But without them, would probably not survive for long.
That's right.
So, in the same manner, parents should not focus on the major leagues which give them ego, which would now what you'd compare to the heart, the liver, the brain, the kidneys, the pancreas, But focus on those. Let your child, if your child feels that they are a nose, that they are a taste bud, they will be the best taste bud God ever created. Not even the liver can compete with them. Why? Because the liver does not have the characteristics of the taste.
Wow. That's right.
And remember, even their positioning is different. Those are organs. We also have systems. You have a digestive system. You've got a circulatory system. You've got the lymphatic system.
Wow.
Not everyone is created to be an organ.
Wow. That's right.
More often than not, almost every human being who wakes up, the next thing they do is put on some music. But you don't want your child to be a musician. But you want to listen to music. Whose child is singing that music?
Wow, never thought of that.
Whose child is singing that music?
Wow.
You don't want your child to be a teacher. It's no longer, the thing, there is nothing good to... But you want your child to be taught. Whose child is going to teach your child?
Wow, that's right.
You get what I'm saying? The ecosystem is complete and everybody prospers. The taste bud is equally provided for and protected as the kidney, as the liver. Wow. If you brought it into the language of spoons, which is what, when you're talking with young people, something that they can see, because I can't remove a kidney to show, right?
Yeah.
If you take a teaspoon and you take a serving spoon, I can assure you that teaspoon cannot serve you efficiently.
Wow.
And the serving spoon, you cannot use to put sugar and stir your cup of tea.
Wow.
It is not about the size. And it's not about the duty. Or rather, it's actually about the duty.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you see, the duty is what determines the characteristic of that spoon. There's a reason one is called a teaspoon, a tablespoon, a serving spoon, a soup spoon.
That's right.
Do you get?
The plate.
A plate.
That's right.
A cup.
You can
That
have
is
the
that-
spoons while you don't have a plate to serve.
What are you going to eat?
That's right.
And neither can you say, no, me, I want my son and daughter to be a spade. A spade is big. But that spade cannot stir your soup. Neither can a teaspoon pick that sand.
Absolutely.
So purpose is really understanding that everybody, just like everything around us, has an identity.
Yes.
And it has characteristics that help it fulfill its purpose. It's the reason why human beings should not look down on one and uplift another. Everybody needs the other. This little finger, without it, you will not grasp the same.
Absolutely.
And try lose your small toe. You will perpetually lose balance.
Wow.
You will perpetually lose balance.
That's quite incredible.
But no one speaks about them. But they've never stopped doing their job. Buildings, you never see the foundation.
Yes.
In fact, when they're constructing that foundation, they put, in Kenya, they put mabati, iron sheets.
Yes.
There's nothing exciting about a foundation.
That's right.
Man is even interested in seeing it.
Yes, that's right.
But after that foundation comes a structure that we say, wow, that architect. The interior decor when you go inside. But that structure cannot be without that foundation.
Right. So I shouldn't fight to be on the structure. We've got to be
To become the foundation.
because both are equally important.
Both are equally needed.
I mean, this is definitely an interesting corporation, and we will be back, continue this. But as you can see, it's raining, so that's right, and we are hoping to see you next time. God bless you and see you.
Bye-bye.